Hello and welcome back to the channel. Hoping you're enjoying the videos. This is the last part of the gaming rig build. Today we're going to install the SSD, we're going to install the graphics card, and then we are also going to install the operating system, and then hopefully we'll have a working rig so that we can actually play games. So let's get to it. So, as the intro sort of led to, we are going to be actually installing and actually setting up the system today. So, we've got the SSD, we've got the graphics. So what we're going to be doing is stripping down the machine. Just to remind you where we're at, we sort of got and I'll interlace the videos from part one. We built the machine. The machine is sort of working, but we've got to sort of like this black screen where it's asking for a boot setup because there's no boot drive. Didn't install a hard drive, hence the purchasing of the SSD. And also I really want to upgrade the graphics before we actually start installing the operating system. So at this moment in time, what I'm going to do is turn the machine off. We're going to do a little bit of time lapsing and just jumping in and out of me installing the SSD and the graphics. And then hopefully we'll get to the point where we're installing the operating system. So fingers crossed, as I said in the intro, we should get a working machine by the end of this video. So let's get on with it. Right, got the machine opened up. As there's not as much to install this time, I'm going to sort of do this without a time lapse. So we'll get the hard drive out. I've already checked to make sure that this is what I want it to be. Now it's only 120 gig drive, sorry. I've used these at work before, so it's a nice little gigabyte solid state drive. Now this should give us quite a bit of power, but not over the top. So it's not going to be rapid, but it should give us a little bit of a better gaming experience. Any SSD is better than nothing at all. So fingers crossed we'll be able to get this installed quite quickly. So as this drive won't fit in this case properly, I'm going to have to find out the best place to put the screws. So there is only one screw hole, which is not entirely helpful. So we will put it in here. The screw fitted. So like I said, this is a bit of a bodge. So this is held in, but it's not fantastic. So that will go there. Now we do need a SATA cable. So let me grab a SATA cable from the previous install. Don't need a too longer one, I don't think. So at the bottom of the case, there is a few high-speed SATA ports. So I'm probably going to install it into the high-speed ones at the bottom. So there's one down here. I'll put my hand in there, it's going to fit. So put that in there, and I plug the data into there. I'll do it the right way up. Now, I already hit a bit of an issue because that isn't going to fit that way around. So let's just unscrew that quickly. Now, what's the advantage of SATA drives is that you don't have to worry too much about them being flat, because that always sounds healthy. So we'll put it in there. That should be fine. That's not going to go anywhere. So put the data in. We're now going to put the power onto it. So that should be as simple as that. So hopefully, if that's in the right SATA port, that should give us everything connected to the hard drive. We're now going to stick the graphics card in. So let's unbolt the side here, and then hopefully we can get to the graphics just down here. So we've already got a bit taken out, so let's undo the graphics card. Looks like this case used to have a graphics card in it. So this is a brand new GeForce GT 710. So it's 2 gig. It doesn't have any extra power ports or anything, so it's not going to be epic, but it should give us a little bit more gaming power, which will be good. So if I put that, move that over here, I need to reinstall that case fan because that case fan doesn't work very well there. So the graphics card should slot in without too much problem. Wonderful. See if I can get that case fan back in. Nope, cable is too short. I need to actually get a better case fan. So we're going to have a look at that later on. I'll do that off camera to get a better case fan in. We're not going to keep it on for that long. So we've got the SSD in, we've got the graphics card in as well. So really now it's about powering it on and seeing if it actually works. I'll get a Windows 10 operating system disk, and then we'll see if we can actually start installing it. Right, okay, so we've got it booted. We're now running HDMI because of the new graphics. Sort of got the camera in front of me as I do this, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this will go okay. At the moment it's still saying we've got no boot device. Well, I know that. So I'm going to put the Windows 10 disk in, fingers crossed it will boot. Now if I press any key, now the problem I've got, I might have to reboot it. It's going to try to network boot. Does this quite often. This is still an issue because I can't get into the BIOS. I have read up online that there's some password jumpers. So I've recorded these videos quite far ahead in time. I did about 4 videos, so I'm going to slow down now. So hopefully you guys in the comments can actually give me some advice on how to sort of maybe reset that password. So it's not going to work. So I'm going to try to power it off manually, and we'll try F12. Try F12 to get into the boot menu. So F12 normally gets you into the boot devices. Oh, it's booting up the Windows operating system disk. Well, that was lucky. It looks like the main boot drive is the CD DVD ROM. So fingers crossed we'll get this going. Probably going to stop it and then come back to it because otherwise I'm going to sit here waiting for Windows logo to start. So I'll stop the recording now for a sec, and then we'll jump forward in time a little bit. Right, okay, so it did a lot of bits and pieces. The disk drive seems to be the noisiest disk drive in the world. So this is the beginning of a Windows install. So I've got a Windows 10 install disk. These aren't hard to get hold of. The thing I don't know if it's going to do is have a license key, so it might be something I have to purchase a license key, but the system will run without one for a while. So already defaulting to United Kingdom, so it seems to know where we are, which is good. With no network cables attached at all. So we're going to go next. We're going to go install. Now this is where we hope that it picks up the SSD. Now there are systems I've had in the past that don't always pick up the hard drive because they're SSDs. So I'm going to skip the activation for now because we don't have a product key. Now I'm going to install, this disk has a multi-boot, so I'm going to do the Pro because the Pro is just better than the home version. Now hopefully it will pick up the SSD. Here's hoping. So accept the terms and conditions. We're going to do install Windows. So we're not going to upgrade because nothing to upgrade. And it's picked up the SSD. It's taken nearly 8 and a bit gig away, but it has found it. So because this is a new SSD, it's got nothing on it. It's never been formatted. So we're going to set up a new location. So it's like a new partition. We just leave it as it is, go apply. It's going to make additional partitions for system files, so we go OK to that. And it makes it. So this system recovery or system reserved, for all my years of doing it, I think it just is like a buffer overload or something for the system. Of course, tell me in the comments what it is. But for my years of being PCs, I just let it do what it wants to do. So there's a 500 meg that it does as a system reserved partition. You'll never see that. And partition 2 is our main drive. So we've got 111.3 gig of storage, which is more than enough for what we need to install the operating system and also games. So we go next, and it starts copying the files. So I'll probably speed up this section. I'll keep it recording, but probably speed through it slightly. So yeah, once it's installed, it's finished, you should be able to see that there's going to be a reboot as the system goes through, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that was the time lapse of the install. Generally didn't take that long. The time lapse was only just short of 30 seconds. So probably took about 5 to 10 minutes, so it really wasn't that bad. That is the power of an SSD. So what we're going to do now is these are some of the settings. Now, more up-to-date versions of Windows 10, if you install them, change this window slightly. So this is basically just saying about your personal settings, a bit of user experience, express settings. So I'm just going to do express settings for now. Just then going to do some thinking about it. Now, because I don't have this network attached, it's not going to ask me for a Microsoft account, which is an advantage. So if any of you guys that are watching this video don't want to set up a Microsoft account off the bat, just don't plug a network cable in or disable the Wi-Fi if you can. This doesn't have anything like Wi-Fi built into it. So just going to call the PC. So if we call this Mark Chats Tech. That'll do. Oh, wait, why don't we put the whole thing? There we go. So we go Mark Chats Tech -rig. That'd be cool. I'm not going to set any passwords up. There's nothing on it at the moment. We'll go next. I don't like using Cortana. She gets in the way. So, and she takes system resources. So I always just not now. Turn her off. Makes the system run a bit quicker. Now, as I said, this system's going to need some updating. Quite a bit of updating. So what I've got is a very old little USB dongle, network Wi-Fi dongle. So I will plug that in once we've got the system up and running. Hopefully with an SSD, this bit won't take very long and we should actually get into the system quite fast. But the key thing really is tell me what games you want me to start playing. Well, that didn't take long. I actually put it onto a time lapse, but it actually only lasted for about a second. So this is the system all up and running. At the moment, our graphics settings are abysmal because I'm guessing the graphics card isn't installed. So if we do have a look at what the bits and pieces are, it's very quick. I do like an SSD. That does make life so much easier. So it is picking up the i3, it's picking up the 8 gig. It's actually, oh, it needs to connect online. Don't think it's going to activate, but we'll give it a shot. It's got the 8 gig of RAM. Let's go into the device manager. It's got some PCI things that aren't installed. Bits and pieces. I don't know if it's actually picked up the graphics. No, it's only using the Microsoft Basic Display Adapter, which is not going to be what we want. So what I'm going to do is quickly throw in the dongle, and hopefully the dongle will install by itself and give me some Wi-Fi, which is good. It's the advantage of having older devices. A lot of the time it has. Right, okay, so got the Wi-Fi started. So what we're going to do first is just do the numerous amounts of updates it probably needs. It still won't activate. Now I don't know if that's because, oh, I think it actually has activated now. Has it activated? Oh, we might be golden if it has activated. Has it activated? And it has. So Windows activated itself. Don't ask me how. I'm never sure how Windows does its activation. Might be something to do with the disk that I'm using. I'm not sure. So this is already activated, which is a start. So what we're going to do now is do the numerous amounts of updates. So the updating system is the old way. So you go into the newer way. So you go into the Windows key, go into the cog. Once you're inside the cog, you click on Update and Security. Now, what I always do is tick on Give me updates for other products. So I always tick that on. Then I go back and then it's checking for updates now. So probably not going to record much more of this. This is going to take hours. So the system is finished. At the moment, as I do this outro, it's doing its last few downloads. So 22% from when we left it off. So it's got a lot to do. So going to leave that running. Probably going to take most of today to get those finished. Especially on the Wi-Fi dongle. It's not the quickest dongle in the world, but it's doing big system updates for Windows 10 and also going to do huge version updates. So going to get this fully up to date. As I said, probably going to do a costing video and also a baseline testing video. Anyone got a good baseline tester that they've used before, do of course put it in the comments below. But I do have a few that I might use. I think even Nvidia also has their own baseline tester, so probably give that a shot. But quite a cheap machine. It's not cost me that much. Hopefully we'll get some power out of it. The performance at the moment, looking at the task manager, even just doing updates, I'm only using like 30% of the CPU, 2.2 gig of the RAM, and the disk is doing nothing. So that's definitely, waiting for the SSD was the best call. And also putting the graphics in will hopefully make the system quicker. It's not using the CPU to do the graphics as much. So fingers crossed we should get a half decent machine out of this. But like I said, gonna leave it to update. Probably going to end the video there. Do please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. There will be more content to come. Got a few machines I need to fix and bits and pieces, as I said in the first video. Very many videos ahead, so do go back and watch my older videos, and I will put them up at the end of the actual this one today. But yeah, do please like and subscribe. Please do comment if there's anything you'd like to see, and I will catch you on the next one.